Hello, this is an example to be sure that we understand how to use the bank rate calculator. So essentially, the first part of this is pretty easy. So how much money are you taking out in a loan? So I've got $15,000. You can either put in the number of years or the months. So I'm going to say that I have a 10-year loan, which means I'm making 120 payments because it's 120 months. And then let's say that I'm getting a loan for 3.5%. So now I hit calculate. This gives me the nuts and bolts. So my monthly payment is $148.33. I clearly am paying back all of my principal, and I'm paying $2,799.46 in principal. So the idea of today is looking at amortization tables. So we click on show the schedule, and then down here, there is a breakdown for every single payment that I'm going to make over the next 10 years. So it's literally just about reading. So I look at the payment date, how much my payment is going to be, how much of my payment is going to be paid towards the principal, how much is going to be paid in interest, what is my total interest that I've paid, and how much do I have left to pay in this column. And then when you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll be able to see 2799.46. That matches up to the total interest that I've paid. So you can see that as you make, your payment is always going to be, because it's an installment loan, will always be 148.33. But you can see that as I get closer to the end of the loan, I'm always going to be paying more towards the principal than towards interest. So by the time I get down here to my last payment, my last few payments, almost everything I'm paying is going towards the principal and not towards interest. Okay, so that's the generic part. The other thing that we can do is, well, what happens if I'm able to add extra payments? So let's say that once I've created my monthly budget, I can add an extra $15. So my original estimated payoff date is October 8th of 2030. I have an extra $15 to add to my monthly payment. So that's going to cut off about a year by adding an extra $15. Well, let's say I can't do that, but I know that every year I get a $600 bonus. So every year I'm going to make an extra $600 payment, and you would choose whenever that would be. So now if I apply this extra payment, sorry, you have to put a zero in there. So now I have my $600 to do once a year. That's going to cut off another what? That's going to cut off like 3 years to the life of my loan. So then you can also see I'm going to pay like $1,000 less dollars in interest as well. The other thing I could do, again, let's say that someone gave me $1,500. So I'm making a one-time payment. I'm going to apply that extra payment. And so that's going to cut off not as much as the monthly payment, but it's going to cut something off, and I'm going to save like $500 in interest compared to not paying any extra payments. So when you're looking at this is how you use a loan calculator, and the extra payment section is really important to see how much money you can save in interest by being able to apply extra payments.